Johnny Depp's and Amber Heard's trial. Like, whoa.
Yeah.
You feel jealous that some people are movie stars? Do you? Yeah? You want to know what they're like behind the scenes?
Yeah.
So Depp is suing her for $100 million in defamation. He won't let it go. This has been going on for years. He won't let it go.
Joe Rogan has reportedly left no stone unturned in showing his true thoughts regarding the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp trial. As the trial's recording gains popularity across social media, millions are pouring in with their reactions to the allegations. It is also safe to say that the battle is being played out against Amber Heard, who is not doing too well on the PR front. It is in this scenario that Joe Rogan has also reportedly gone ahead and slammed Johnny Depp while exposing the lies during his testimony. Without a doubt, this is creating a pretty interesting scenario for fans across the world. So, what got said by Rogan and other celebrities regarding Heard and Depp? Let's find out in this video. While discussing Johnny Depp's ongoing lawsuit against ex-wife Amber Heard, Joe Rogan recently described him as clearly a nice guy. On a recent edition of his acclaimed The Joe Rogan Experience podcast, Rogan was joined by American comedian Doug Stanhope. The UFC color commentator also recounted a talk he had with Depp over the phone. They first spoke over the phone while Stanhope and Rogan were both working as comics on The Men Show. On the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, the 54-year-old said,
Well, first of all, what you get out of it is that, you know, he is an actor and he's very charming, but he's also clearly a nice guy.
He's fucking one of the sweetest people I've ever met.
I 100% believe that. I briefly said hello to him in the backstage of the main room. I didn't really have a conversation with him until you connected me with him on the phone. He's a sweet guy.
Although Johnny Depp and Amber Heard divorced in 2016, their dispute has lingered since Heard claimed to have suffered domestic abuse in an op-ed for the Washington Post without identifying Depp. The Pirates of the Caribbean actor recently sued Heard for slander and denied ever being physically abusive with him. The current trial has sparked a media frenzy, with courtroom snippets giving plenty of fuel for the fire. It's a cautionary tale about believing in bullshit. Joe Rogan's take on the ongoing trial. Rogan claims to have been earnestly following the ongoing trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Did you watch any of the trial?
I've watched all the trial.
Have you? So you watched the poop part?
Yeah, I watched the poop part.
We were fucking dying like it was a comedy show when we're watching at the house.
When he's saying that she tried to blame it on the dog.
Dropping a grumpy?
According to the renowned podcaster, Heard's version of things can be a cautionary story about believing in a fabricated narrative. On an edition of the JRE podcast, the 54-year-old informed his guest Jessica Curson.
I'm watching this trial like it's a cautionary tale. It's a cautionary tale about believing in bullshit, like forming a narrative in your head, like we're rebels together.
Amber Heard testified in her defamation case against Johnny Depp last week, offering jurors a very different version of the couple's relationship from the one offered by her ex-legal husband's team. Mr. Depp, 58, has filed a $50 million lawsuit against his former girlfriend over an essay she published in 2018 in which she claimed to be a victim of domestic abuse. Mr. Depp testified throughout the first 3 weeks of the trial that he was harmed by Ms. Heard's fluctuating moods and inclination to intimidate and abuse him. Ms. Heard, 36, recounted a different account last week portraying Mr. Depp as a dominating and aggressive man prone to jealous rages and drug binges.
I've never been so scared in my life.
In turn, she has filed a $100 million lawsuit against Mr. Depp. Both actors, however, has denied instances of abuse. The high-profile trial has captivated spectators worldwide. Fans of Mr. Depp have accused Ms. Heard of them fabricating her testimony in tears on social media. Ms. Heard's evidence, though, was persuasive, according to Ryan Baker, a Los Angeles attorney who has defended individuals in defamation lawsuits. Here's a look back at some of the important happenings from this week, as well as what to anticipate next. The recollections of Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard's early days together were one of the few points of overlap between their testimonies. Ms. Heard, like her ex-husband, spoke of a strong and instant bond. "I felt like butterflies. I couldn't see straight," she said. "I'd never felt love like that. I felt like he recognized me, and I recognized him."
You know, it made me feel seen, made me feel like $1 million.
A rapid transition, she maintained, ruined their bond. She stated that Mr. Depp would vanish for days and then return inebriated, high, and furious. While filming The Rum Diary, both actors described an instant affinity. "He was the love of my life," Ms. Heard said, "but he was also this other thing, and that other thing was awful." She described the first incident of alleged assault when she inquired about a Wino Forever tattoo on Mr. Depp's bicep.
I asked him about the tattoo he has on his arm. And to me, it just looked like black marks. I didn't know what it said. It just looked like muddled, faded tattoo that was hard to read. And I said, what does it say? And he said it says wino. It says wino. And I didn't see that. I thought he was joking because it didn't look like it said that at all. And I laughed. It was that simple.
And he slapped me across the face, she said. Miss Heard laughed again, she testified, assuming he was joking. He slapped her 2 more times, she said.
It changed my life.
I knew you don't come back from that. Earlier in the trial, Mr. Depp claimed that the altercation over tattoo didn't happen and that he never slapped Miss Heard. There was also a jealous factor with the hated James Franco. Mr. Depp's rages, according to Miss Heard, were readily sparked by sentiments of envy. He was accusing me of having affairs. Miss Heard said, I'm trying to defuse the situation by trying to tell him I'm not sleeping with this person, and I'm not sleeping with that person.
He called me a slut. Did I ask James to do this and this to me?
Mr. Depp had a special disdain for Miss Heard's co-star in the Adderall Diaries, James Franco. He hated James Franco, she explained. She claimed that the jealousy culminated in a violent altercation on a grueling 2014 trip from Boston to Los Angeles, during which he reportedly kicked her.
I feel this boot in my back. He just kicked me in the back.
I fell to the floor, she said. No one said anything. No one did anything. This specific battle has already been detailed before jurors multiple times. Miss Heard was the aggressor, according to Mr. Depp and his crew. To escape his then partner, the actor said he locked himself in the aircraft restroom. I knew that she was ready for some kind of brawl, Mr. Depp said in court.
And I went into the bathroom, locked the door, and lay down on the bathroom floor and went to sleep. And that's where I remained for the rest of the flight.
The actor has admitted to abusing the opiate roxicodone, which he claims was given to him for a back problem. He stated he maintained a good relationship with drugs and alcohol after detoxing from that substance in 2014. Miss Heard said it another way. She detailed multiple instances of her former spouse abusing alcohol, cocaine, and pills over her 2 days on the stand. He would pass out, get sick, lose control of himself, she said. The actor has admitted to being addicted to the opiate roxicodone, which he claims was prescribed to him for a back ailment. He stated he had a good relationship with drugs and alcohol after detoxing from that substance in 2014. Miss Heard said it differently. She described multiple instances of her former spouse abusing alcohol, cocaine, and pills throughout her 2 days on the stand. He threw himself off the boat. She said, it looked a little scary, like not something somebody would do if they were completely okay. Almost like a panic attack, she remarked. The girl began to scream and breathe fast. Mr. Depp grew agitated as Miss Heard sought to console her, she alleged. Mr. Depp accused her of leaking information and calling him a drunk in front of his kids. He allegedly threw Miss Heard against a boat wall and referred to her as an embarrassment.
And he's saying I'm embarrassing to him.
Mr. Depp accused Miss Heard of supporting what he viewed as provocative approaches from a lady during a weekend away with friends in May 2013. Miss Heard said that the lady leaned into me, put her head on my shoulder, and put her hand on my arm. Mr. Depp became enraged, she said. The two returned to their trailer park where the fighting. She said that Mr. Depp grew agitated. When the two returned to their trailer park, the fighting became more intense. Mr. Depp allegedly took off Miss Heard's underpants and searched for cavities for cocaine, according to Miss Heard.
He was telling me we're gonna conduct a cavity search, shall we? Like, just shoved his fingers inside me.
During her 2 days of testimony, Miss Heard grew obviously distraught. Miss Heard had given her the same tale about the alleged assault, according to psychologist Dawn Hughes, who testified earlier in court. Miss Heard afterward battled to keep her tears from streaming down her face as she told jurors that Mr. Depp had sexually abused her with a bottle. The court has been rescheduled for a week. Miss Heard will testify again when jurors return to court on May 16th. Before facing cross-examination, she'll answer further questions from her own attorneys. The public opinion court has not been kind to her thus far. Fan accounts supporting Mr. Depp and accusing Miss Heard of manufacturing false charges in an attempt to harm his career around on TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. The cards were stacked against her to begin with, said journalist and author Cooper Lawrence, who has written extensively on celebrity culture. He is the bigger star, he has a huge fan base, and they believe him. Nothing like this has ever come out previously in Mr. Depp's career or previous relationships, according to Ms. Lawrence. So what's the new factor? It's Amber Heard. For the jury to side with Johnny Depp, they will have to completely disregard Amber Heard's testimony. Consider her a liar, he said. All the jury needs to do is believe some of what she's saying. Keeping all these details in mind, who do you think is on the right side between Heard and Johnny? Do share your thoughts in the comments below.